After taking 2 out of 3 games from the preseason division favorite Washington Nationals, the New York Mets head down to South Beach to play 3 games against the Miami Marlins, who split a 4-game series with the Colorado Rockies. Despite being in a clear rebuild, the Marlins certainly should not be taken lightly as they boast a young, surprisingly good rotation with plenty of future upside. All 5 of their starters are under the age of 28 and, outside of Jose Urena, possess only 1 year or less of MLB service time. April 1st, Steven Matz, L. vs. Caleb Smith, L. This is a matchup that will be much tougher than people think, as Caleb Smith has some legitimately frontline rotation strikeout stuff. In 16 starts last season for the Marlins before he suffered a grade 3 lat strain, Smith was 5-6 with a 4.19 ERA, 1.241 WHIP, and a 10.2 K9. He has a 3-pitch mix, fastball, slider, change, that all produce swing and miss rates above 11%, and he's confident throwing all 3 against right-handed hitters. Against lefties though, he abandons the changeup and favors his slider 33% of the time, which held them to a .138 AVG against in 2018. 3 of the Mets' regular starting position players faced Smith last season: Rosario, Conforto, and Nimmo, but did so without much success, posting a .231 AVG with 6 strikeouts in a small 13-plate appearance sample size. The additions of McNeil, .273 AVG, 6.67% whiff rate versus lefty sliders, Alonso, and Ramos should help balance out a lineup that has struggled in the past against left-handed pitchers. On the Mets side, Steven Matz will make his season debut in a ballpark that he has generally dominated in. Across 4 starts in Marlins Park, Matz has posted a 3-0 record with a 0.76 ERA, 1.014 WHIP, and a 8.4 K9. The last time Matz has given up an earned run in Marlins Park was on September 6, 2015 via home run off the bat of Jeff Mathis. The Marlins use platoons at a handful of positions, so it is unlikely he will get to see Curtis Granderson, JT Riddle, or even the switch-hitting Neil Walker, was benched in both games versus Colorado, featuring left-handed starters. April 2nd, Jason Vargas, L. vs. Jose Urena, R. The Mets have seen a lot of Jose Urena in the past, as this will be the right-hander's 11th start against the Amazons in his 3 years of MLB service time. With a 3-pitch mix that is similar to Caleb Smith's in usage, he usually holds the team in check with a 5-5 record, 3.38 ERA, 1.080 WHIP, but without missing many bats, with a paltry 4.6 K9 rate in those 10 starts. In his first start of the season, Urena was obliterated by the Colorado Rockies, allowing 6 runs, 5 earned, on 9 hits and 1 walk in only 4.2 innings of work. There is also some minor health concerns with Urena, as he took a line drive off the inside of his left knee in the 2nd inning of that start, which caused some swelling and temporarily reduced his velocity by approximately 2 to 3 miles per hour. Once again, only 3 Mets regulars have significant batter versus pitcher data against Urena: Rosario, Conforto, and Nimmo, but this time it's all favorable. In 43 plate appearances against him, the Mets trio has a .350 AVG against, with 3 doubles, 2 home runs, and only 6 strikeouts. McNeil, .333 AVG, .583 SLG versus righty sliders, and Cano, .287 AVG, .549 SLG versus righty sliders, should also have an advantage versus Urena. For the Mets, Jason Vargas will be the starting pitcher making his season debut. While he's never pitched in Marlins Park before, Vargas did win both of his Citi Field starts against the Marlins last season, allowing only 2 runs on 5 hits and 11 IP with 14 strikeouts against them. There could potentially be some trouble spots in this Marlins lineup though, as both Curtis Granderson and Starlin Castro have excellent career numbers versus Vargas. Across 27 plate appearances between the two of them, they have a .417 AVG against him with 5 doubles and only 1 strikeout. April 3rd, Jacob deGrom, R. vs. Trevor Richards, R. In what seems like an unfair scheduling nightmare, the third game between the teams will actually be an evening game. Afterwards, the Mets will return home to New York overnight and are scheduled to play the Washington Nationals at 1:10 p.m. the next day. For the Marlins, right-hander Trevor Richards will be on the mound making his second start of the season. The Mets faced him twice last year and did reasonably well, scoring 6 runs, 4 earned, on 13 hits and 3 walks across 11.2 IP, albeit with 10 strikeouts. Richards added a slider to his arsenal this offseason and featured it heavily, 21%, along with his changeup 35% in his last start against the Colorado Rockies, holding them to only 1 run on 4 hits while striking out 4. Having a fourth pitch to go with his fastball and curveball is important for Richards, as hitters generally feast on his pedestrian 90 to 92 mph fastball to the tune of a .312 AVG, .524 SLG against the pitch in 2018. There isn't a lot of BVP data for current Mets against Richards, but both Ramos and Rosario do have home runs against Richards, and McNeil also has 3 hits in 5 plate appearances against him. Despite that, the players on the Mets do generally struggle with change-up-heavy right-handed pitchers. Conforto, Ramos, Rosario, and Nimmo all have whiff rates above 15% against the pitch, and minus Nimmo, averages all below .227. None of this should matter considering the Mets will have Jacob deGrom on the mound for them, right? Well, surprisingly, of the teams in the NL East, deGrom's worst performances usually come against the Marlins. In 7 career starts, deGrom has a 1-2 record with a 3.89 ERA, 1.344 WHIP and a 10.6 K9 rate. deGrom's streak of 30 straight starts without allowing more than 3 runs actually started after a lackluster performance against the Marlins on April 10. Starlin Castro's .350 career AVG and Brian Anderson's .400 AVG against deGrom could be of particular concern in this one.